Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 58 of the J Situation podcast. I'm recording this on April 13th, 2021. Oh my goodness gracious, how you folks doing? Guess what I did this weekend? I finally went shooting. Man, I tell you what, and it wasn't even for PEW Science, it was for myself. The first time I went shooting, not for work, in a very long time. And boy, oh boy, was it fun. I'll talk about it more in today's episode. One of the things that made this really, really fun was using a silencer. I was shooting a rifle and did so completely suppressed. All of my shooting is 100% suppressed. Actually, all of my shooting for PEW Science, for fun, and even my prospective shooting, like, for example, like my planning to shoot, like my carry gear, my home defense guns, all have silencers or have the capability to attach silencers readily. And that's just how I roll. It's how I've rolled for a long time. Just something I've liked to do. I fell in love with silencers over a decade ago, and ever since then, I'm pretty much all in on suppressed weapons. But how you may ask, can you procure silencers for your own use? Well, if they're legal in the state in which you live, which, they very well could be, since they're legal in a bunch of states, you can look at the number one place to get silencers. Silencer Shop. Yeah, you like how I'm so smooth the way I shoehorn this in. The J Situation podcast is proudly sponsored by Silencer Shop, the most efficient and intelligent way to purchase silencers. As a silencer consumer, Silencer Shop is not only my dealer of choice, but my infrastructure of choice. They're actually pretty close by to me here in Texas, down here in Texas. So I actually, frankly, I'm a manufacturer now, licensed, but when I need a third party dealer, they're the guys. I'm telling you, they're not only my personal dealer, but they're the infrastructure I prefer to use. Okay. They've done a lot of cool stuff, like create an easy system that minimizes the likelihood of errors in your paperwork. And they pioneered the use of a QR code on the actual Form 4. It lets the ATF scan the code instead of fat fingering in all your information themselves. You know that, right? Like, you're filling out that form. Whether you fill out that form by hand or, on a computer and print it or whatever, anytime you do that, that form goes to a person. Okay. It's going to the ATF, and they're going to have to examine that form. Well, the Silencer Shop system is all digital, right? And so they've made it so that not only do you not have to write it down, it's all through their digital system. It puts the information on the form, and then it actually embeds all the information in a QR code that's printed on the form itself. I mean, Silencer Shop came up with that. I mean, they worked with the ATF to make that happen. You ever filled out a government form and the form's like, you're like, oh, got to make sure everything's right. Can you imagine the level of effort it took to tell the ATF, oh, hey, we're going to put a QR code on your form, and you're going to take the form and you're going to scan the QR code and get the information? How easy do you think that was to do? You think Silencer Shop was just like, yeah, we're just going to do this one day? No. Like, Silencer Shop did that. Okay, there's a reason why I asked them to sponsor this podcast. Okay, so yeah, back to this. I'm telling you, Silencer Shop did that. There's a reason they've grown. They continue to innovate. Okay, they have a network of dealers nationwide where silencers are legal. Okay, you can use their kiosk, which is how all your information is input. Okay, you can use their kiosk. You can use their services. All of these things cut down on paperwork errors. They simplify your silencer purchasing process. Think about it, man. One-stop shop. Silencer Shop is a one-stop shop. You can do everything from buy a silencer, buy a tax stamp, form a trust online, digitally sign your Form 4, all from the comfort of your own home. You submit all your biometric data, your personal data. Super simple. You use their kiosk, you use their system. All your information is stored safely. It's encrypted in their systems. Yeah, whenever you need it, you pull it up and you have access to it. When you need it for your forms, you never have to hassle with ink. You never have to hassle with fingerprint cards again. They got a money back guarantee. Let's say you're not satisfied with the silencer you waited all that time for. Hey, Silencer Shop is going to do their best to make it right. So, frankly, I always say this, but I wish they'd been around when I got into the NFA game, man. I would have used them. I didn't know anything like that existed. It's super easy. You can go to their website, search for the products you want to buy, and when you're ready to make a purchase, the online tools let you choose dealers in your area that hold your silencer for you. As you go through that long wait, due to ATF limbo. And, if they're a cool dealer, and there are a lot of cool dealers out there, maybe they'll even let you shoot it while you wait. How cool would that be? No transfer fees, no paperwork errors, just you and your silencer with no drama. It is silencer ownership simplified. Good people at Silencer Shop. Thank you so much for your support, Silencer Shop. And secondly, you may want to know, gosh, how do I know what silencer will be quiet enough for my use case? Well, there's a company that can let you know about that. PEW Science. Get your data from PEW Science, and then you go to Silencer Shop. You get the silencer you want. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm telling you. The J Situation podcast is also sponsored by PEW Science, pushing the silencer industry forward one test at a time. You can go to pewscience.com for the suppression rating. It's the simplest and the most accurate hearing safe ratings for your suppressed small arms. The suppression rating that's on pewscience.com, it is based on true human sound perception. Okay, this is objective loudness tied to the way your ears work. That's what the suppression rating is. All right, it's in Section 5 of the Silencer Sound Standard. The Silencer Sound Standard was created by PEW Science. Okay, this is all wrapped up. It's all wrapped up with a tight little bow for you, all on pewscience.com. Okay, the whole Silencer Sound Standard is on there, and it walks you through gunshot noise, sort of like Wikipedia. But let's be honest, it's more fun because it's about silencers. There are 7 parts to the standard, and they're all on pewscience.com for you to read. If you haven't seen the standard yet, it's totally fine. You don't need to be overwhelmed. You skip to Section 5 if you want to see the suppression rating. Okay? That's going to let you know how silencers stack up in comparison to one another with regard to the sound at the muzzle and to the shooter's ear. And, that's going to give you a hearing safe dose limit for the particular platforms on which the silencers are tested. It's directly tied to human perception. If the rating's higher, it sounds better. If it's lower, it sounds louder. That's all there is to it. You're not going to find the information anywhere else in the world. We'll work real hard to bring it to you, so go check it out if you like. And in Section 6, if you really want to geek out, all the reviews of all the silencers are there, so you can look at the technical data to understand how we got the suppression rating. Okay, if you would like. And you know what? If that's too much, and you're just like, Jay, give me the rankings. Just let me know what the quietest stuff is. Let me know what the middle of the road stuff is. Let me know what the loudest stuff is. I just need to know. So you know what? I got you, fam. Say no more. Section 7 of the standard, rankings. Simple database tool. You go there. You can sort it to your heart's content, and who knows, I might even add some more information to the rankings soon. I aim to please. Some of you asked for that. So, there are individual links to all the reviews in the ranking section. Like, let's say you're sorting through the rankings there on pewscience.com/rankings, and you say to yourself, man, this is an interesting suppression rating for this silencer. I wonder how PEW Science came up with that. Well, no problem. There's a link right there on the line there in the table. You click it, it takes you to the particular review of interest. All right. So go wild. It's a data junkie's dream. Now, I will say, as always, if you are a manufacturer and you would like to use PEW Science for private testing and consulting services, you wonder, gosh, I wonder how PEW Science can help us characterize our silencers. Hey, it's no problem. There's a form on the website with which you can submit that inquiry to PEW Science if you like. The content information and all the test data will be held in strict confidence, unless, of course, you want to release it to the public, in which case PEW Science is certainly glad to help you do that. PEW Science has released several reviews from the private testing so far, and so go to the website and check those out. Okay. I'm not just the owner. I'm a member. No, but I am the owner of PEW Science and the technical director. So if you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to tech@pewscience.com. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. You can send an inquiry through the website as well, if you like. And you can support this podcast, PEW Science, and our testing by joining with a membership at pewscience.com. And, you can rate this podcast 5 stars on iTunes. That would be cool. Do that. Or, whatever podcast provider you use, it just, and the point of that is, it's not necessarily, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I tell you what, the wider proliferation that we gain with this effort, the greater we will benefit the silencer community at large, and therefore the firearm community at large, and therefore, in my opinion, the state of the U.S., the U.S. population at large. Okay? The more we can educate about suppressed small arms, the more we normalize their use. Normalized use results in the hearts and minds being won on a grand scale. When that occurs, change occurs. Okay? You win wars through education. Okay? That hearts and minds are how you win the battles and wars. So we are well on our way, I promise. It might seem insurmountable, but it's not. It just takes obsession and dedication. And we got those in spades, my friend. I got 4 topics for you today. This is going to be a crazy one. I think it's just going to be long, frankly. I don't know. Well, I'm trying not to go off the rails. Topic 1, just went shooting, and man, I actually had a dream about it the other night. That's how much fun I had. Topic 2, sound signature review 639. The Sig Sauer SRD762Ti-QD. That is a mouthful. Just tested out with subsonic 300 blackout relatively recently. Wrote the review really quick. Wanted to get it to you. Shot it on the Q Mini Fix. We'll talk about that. Topic 3, analysis update. Back pressure metric, major progress. Update coming soon. It is imminent. Along with the new review to showcase that for you. That's not coming this week. Don't get your hopes up too crazy but I just want to tell you I'm working on it. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. And topic 4, welcome to all the new PEW Science members. Thank you for your support. All right, we're going to get into topic 1 at a time where's my time? 13 minutes and 17 seconds. I spent 13 minutes on that? Oh, man, all right, fam, I'm sorry. We got to streamline this intro. This is getting out of hand. All right, let me get a drink of water here. Excuse me. Okay, topic 1. Yeah, just went shooting. Had a dream about it. I loved it. It's been a while, guys. Oh, and you know what? Before I even start talking about this, I promised you all something last episode. I did. I promised one of you because I was answering your listener questions, which, by the way, I'm not finished with, but I'm just taking a break on those for right now. I promised one of you. I said to you that I would give you the weight of the CGS Helios QD Ti. Because I promised I would, and it's taken me forever. So, okay, first let me tell you how much the normal CGS Helios QD weighs. The one that's 3D printed in Canal. It's built like a tank. So, with the steel direct thread adapter in the rear of the Inconel version, that is out right now, that you can buy right now. You can actually buy it at silencershop.com. It weighs 22.7 ounces. It's my silencer. It's sitting on my desk right now with a half 28 direct thread adapter in it. The 5/8 inch adapter that you would use on 308 or 300 blackout barrels, it weighs less because it has a bigger hole. right? So there's more steel in the half 28 adapter because the hole's smaller. And I don't think they did any weight reduction other than that. Excuse me. Hold on one second. I just ate, so like I'm all like, I ate a great some like chicken tenders on salad. That's a mature dinner. No, but yeah, 22.7 ounces is the Inconel Helios with the half 28 steel direct thread adapter that you can buy right now. So that's a honker. That's a heavy one. But that's also, you know, if there was ever a silencer that was belt fed rated, I mean, it would probably be this one. I mean, it can actually, you could put it on like a 240 and, you know, belt fed machine gun, and the barrel's going to droop before you kill it, I've been told. So that's actually it truly is a machine gun silencer in every sense of the word. Now, I think the website Sound Signature Review for the Helios QD on pewscience.com says that the Inconel version weighs 20.7 ounces. Okay, so that's with the 5/8 inch adapter. So you might be an ounce, you might be 2 ounces or an ounce different, either with mine actually might be full of, might actually have some debris in it and lead in it from shooting it so much, plus like the difference in adapter. So that's probably why the 22.7 ounces is the measurement I have for the one sitting on my desk right now. Okay, so there's that, and so that's my measurement. Okay, the one on the website's right with the adapter it shows, and then the one on my desk is right because I measured. I mean, this is the same scale. Now, the titanium version of the Helios QD, the exact same silencer, but it's 3D printed titanium instead of Inconel. This is 3D printed grade 5 titanium, just like the Hyperion K and the CGS Hyperion you've seen. Okay. Now this is still with a half by 28 steel direct thread adapter. I don't believe this is titanium. This is a thread adapter. So with that in the rear, the weight of this titanium R&D model that is sitting on my desk right now in front of me next to the Inconel model, this titanium model is 13.2 ounces with the steel direct thread adapter in it for half 28. So that's right. That's because it has the same direct thread adapter in it as the Inconel. You can compare them, right? So that's 9.5 ounces lighter. So this silencer is 9.5 ounces lighter when you go from Inconel to titanium version. Same mount. So forget about the weight, the total weight of 13.2. Just keep in mind it's 9.5 ounces less than the steel one. So whatever you have on it, like let's say you're using a dead air chemo, you're using a Q Plan B, you're using a YHM Kurtz mount, you're using a area 123 or area 419 or whatever they're called. You're using you pick a mount, a dead air, whatever, anything that'll fit into this thing. The titanium one's 9.5 ounces lighter than the steel with the same mount. Okay. So how much different is that weight? Well, it's over half a pound. it's over half a pound lighter. So like a pound is 16 ounces. Half a pound would be 8 ounces. So 9.5 ounce weight difference is over half a pound weight difference for the silencer going to titanium. It's incredible. So the elephant in the room for this thing, is that, well, what about the durability of it? Well, does erosion occur? So far, I have to say, I just took a borescope to it again. Not on this R&D sample. I've done full auto mag dumps through it. I've done some slow fire plinking with it this past weekend. I have not, but what I've not done is I've not subjected it to constant abuse at elevated temperature. I said, Jay, but you just said you did mag dumps. Yeah, I did, but a mag dump is one thing. Okay, plinking is another thing, but I haven't, done mag dump after mag dump after mag dump after mag dump on this thing. Like I haven't done a SOCOM firing schedule test on it. I haven't used the silencer on an extremely abusive carbine course like all day long. I haven't, I have no reason to think that it's going to break. It's super strong. It's monolithic construction. The thing is 3D printed. There's no weld seams on this thing, which is wild. Like that's the really crazy thing. Like the opportunity for stress discontinuities do exist just due to geometry, but not due to material interfaces, which is quite interesting, actually. If you understand system failures and mechanics, which some of you might. A lot of people listen to this podcast. It is quite unique in the way this is made. So, would I need to test it with more ammunition to understand its limitations? Absolutely. There are people that have been firing this with firing schedules that are quite extreme. So, ammo is scarce right now, and so the durability test has not been funded for PEW Science to conduct. I will not perform such a test without funding. Okay, that's just due to the current cost environment with ammunition. And so if someone wants to send me ammunition or fund that effort, with ammunition, because I first of all, how would I even get the ammunition? I can't buy it. Even if I wanted to, right? Like I don't even know where to find ammunition right now. But yeah, if you want to send me ammunition to burn this thing down, I totally will. I'll ruin a barrel for it. Whatever. Wait, I say that now, but oh no, I don't want to ruin my barrel. But I would. You send me a barrel and ammunition. How about that? But yeah, I would be happy to torture test it if someone wants me to. I just don't think I need to right now or can. Due to these factors. But that's the weight and the durability info I have for you right now. I don't know, man. It's pretty cool. So yeah, the reason I brought it up, well, one, I promised to tell you about it. Two, I used it this weekend. All right. So, I finally made time to go shooting. My time to go shooting was really important to me. And did it delay a little bit of PEW Science work? Yeah, it totally did. It did, because I spent a man day. It was a man day of delay. But did I need to do it for myself and like my loved ones so I can be more pleasant to be around and because I'm less stressed? Yes. So this was an effort for more than just me. Okay, it benefits those around me and you, because a fresh J does more better. Can do better things for you when I'm rested. So trust me, if I function better when I can function. Now Saturday, it was all Saturday, all afternoon. I set up a torso size steel plate out in the field, really cool, and I checked the zero of my EOTech on my rifle at 50 yards. Check the zero there, and then the gun I use is my machine gun AR that you've seen me post photos and videos of before. And the upper on that gun, it's a Voltor MUR. That's the upper receiver. It has an 11.5-inch long Faxon barrel with a mid-length gas system. Okay, it has a superlative arms gas block on the gas block journal there on the barrel, clamp-on block. In restricted mode, 6 clicks open. It has a Surefire optimized bolt carrier, the Surefire OBC, inside the upper receiver there, with its own proprietary buffer, which is shorter and fatter to accommodate the longer stroke from the OBC. It has a Knights Armament handguard. It's the mid-length free float rail adapter system, RAS, the handguard there, the famous quad rail that looks so pretty. What else? It has the Magpul gray PDW stock because it's cool. DPMS 4-way burst auto semi safe trigger group. It's neat, but it's heavy. It's got a grip pod. It's a grip. It's a bipod. It's a grip pod. Which is awesome. I love it. And of course, the CGS Helios QD Ti direct thread, the silencer I just talked about. That's right, 13.2 ounce silencer on that gun. No, my goodness gracious me. And when I said 6 clicks open for the gas block, it's tuned for the CGS. It'll run with different gas settings too, but that's what I have it on right now. Yeah, the silencer is perfect for the gun. It really is perfect. And that's not just me saying that because CGS is a PEW Science R&D client. No, it's really not. It's me saying it because it's literally the silencer that sits on this M16 in my house. Like, this is the rifle I keep loaded and ready for action. This is the Helios sits on that. The Helios QD Ti, it sits on that rifle in direct thread. Doesn't come off. Like, I used a strap wrench just now to take it off to measure it for you guys. Like, I have to go, and it sucks, and I have to put it back on. I'm like, oh man, I have to get it stuck again, which I want it to be stuck on there. I don't want it coming off. I actually, when I was shooting it this weekend, I just hand tightened it on. Like you know how like you take a silencer and it's almost tight, then you back off a little bit and you snap it on, like that. You would do that with a pistol. That's what I did with this. And then I kind of tugged on it a little bit to make sure it was on there. Tightened it by hand. It's a 90-degree shoulder, so I was like, okay, let me make sure it's on there. It was pretty on there, and it stayed on there the entire day of shooting. Yeah. So, I mean, so again, like, I'm not just saying that because it's, it's an R&D sample that's on loan from CGS. No, like, this is my silencer. Like, I use this now. Like, I guess they could ask for it back. Bobby, if you're listening, you can't have it back. It's mine. No, I'd give it back if he asked. No, but it's cool. And so, the silencer's light, it's quiet, and then the gun is light and quiet. The silencer's the jam, dude. I love it. It's my go-to 5.56 silencer right now. I've tested a lot of other stuff. I haven't tested a ton of 5.56 silencers, 5.56 specific stuff. Do I care right now? No. Do I need to test more? Yes. But I don't care because right now this is fine for me. You've seen the 308 test data. You've seen how quiet it is for the size. Now imagine that in titanium. All right, you heard me. It might be a little different because I know the internal geometry is slightly different. When I look at the edges of the material, it's a little bit different. Is that going to make a difference in actuality, in sound? Probably not a lot. Not like some other steel and titanium silencer versions I've seen from other manufacturers. Just the way this is 3D printed, I don't think it's going to be significantly different. You did hear me talk about the comparison of the Helios QD in the supersonic flow regime. You heard me compare it to the rugged Radiant on a 16-inch 308 fix, right, in a hunting roll, because you heard me talk about this silencer and the Hyperion K from CGS. And then you heard me talk about how the Radiant bothered my ears and the Hyperion K was quieter, even though it's way smaller than the Radiant. And then you heard me say that the Helios QD is quieter than the Hyperion K, which it is, and you've seen that data in supersonic. So then you heard me say that if the Helios QD Ti had a taper mount, it would be on my 308 fix, no question. Right? So yeah. Do I like the Helios QD Ti? A silencer that's not even out yet for like an all-around rifle silencer? Yes, I do. Am I using it on a 5.56 machine gun? Yes, I am. Did I go plinking and shooting with it all Saturday afternoon? Yes, I did. I did. I mean, it was really great, and I don't know. I like I said, I checked 0 to 50 yards, good to go. Backed up to 75 yards, good to go. Backed up to 100, good to go. Walked out to about 150 yards, laid on the ground. Enter grip pod deployed. hit the target. Good. Walked back to the truck. Drove the truck out to about 175 yards. You may be asking yourself, Jay, how did you know how far you were away from the target? Well, I'll tell you how I knew. I used my thermal rifle scope detached from a gun on a QD mount that has laser range finding capabilities, and that's how I use a thermal range finder. I use that to check my distance to my target, because I don't know, that's what I have. It's Gucci. I actually don't even own a laser rangefinder like normal people. I have two thermal rifle scopes that both have laser rangefinders built in. Both are Pulsar Trail LRF XP50s. They're amazing. So yeah, I have two of those. I used one of them. One's on an AR308. It was sitting in my safe, one of my pig guns, and then the other one was not married to a rifle at the time. So I was like, let me get this. I brought that with me. So I laid in the bed of my truck. Used a little Frank Proctor beanbag thing under my grip. My little mag pull grip on the gun instead of under the stock, because of the way the elevation, I needed to hit the steel. I needed to be, I don't know. It worked out to where I had it under my grip, whatever. Like, I just shoot how I shoot. Like, I don't have like a strict, I just do what works. And then EOTech EXPS3, no magnification on that. Turn the brightness down a little bit so it didn't bloom and obscure the target at all or anything like that. Shot it, hit. Shot it, hit. Shot it, missed. Oops, got lazy with trigger control. Shot it, hit. Shot it, hit. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is really easy. Let me stop paying attention. Oh, shit, I missed it. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, like you have to, you obviously have to focus. Like, I'm not using magnification. I'm not, using, I'm not really using a scope at all. I'm using a holographic weapon sight, like an EOTech. It's not even a red dot. It's a holographic sight. I'm superimposing a red dot on the target, hoping that, I can see the target. It's not like I have like a fine reticle that I'm looking through for exact placement, but this is meant for expedient target acquisition, both eyes open shooting. Okay, so I'm sitting here laying in the back of a truck bed, looking at a torso side steel plate 175 yards away. That's okay. So that's past one football field. That's 75 yards into the next football field, for those of you keeping track of yards. All right, so that's 175 yards away, and I'm hitting that thing repeatedly with an EOTech with no magnification. So that's what it's all about, dude. Like, that's fun. I mean, that's why you shoot. That's like, I was shooting. I like, it was in the middle of a mag. I took my finger off the trigger, put the gun on safe, and just said to myself, God, I love this gun. Like, it is super quiet out there, man. Just some wind, a little bit, not too much wind, not too bad. Some birds were chirping, just shooting steel, hearing the ping, sometimes not hearing the ping because I missed. Corrected, heard the ping again. Picked up my binoculars, look at where I was hitting, super pleased, kept doing it, stopped, drank a bottle of water, just looked around, loaded some mags. I mean, it was like one of those, you're by yourself, you're loading mags, your silencer's hot, the gun's just you got your machine gun laying by you. I blew up my little REI sleeping pad. I put that in the back of the truck to like treat yourself, make it a little comfortable. Kind of laid on that. I was like, ooh, now I'm comfortable? Man, I didn't know I could be comfortable out here laying on that and shooting. Oh my God, come on. It's like luxury. It's amazing. My God, I was enjoying myself. I don't get to do this often. All right. So yeah, I really enjoy shooting like that. That's how I remember getting into shooting. I was a Cub Scout, little Cub Scout there, little uniform, little Tiger Cub. Had a little orange shirt. Started out as a Tiger Cub, went all the way through Cub Scouts, got to Boy Scouts, went all the way through to Eagle Scout. Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts taught me how to shoot. That's how I learned to shoot. Learned on a pellet rifle, moved to 22. Shooting's awesome. Shooting this AR at steel is super easy, super sweet, super relaxing, super important for practice to make sure you can hit stuff when you need to hit stuff. It's good to have time behind the gun. It's super pleasant when you use a silencer. I have a lot of time behind guns, guys. I test silencers all the time. I'm shooting a lot. Time for myself to relax behind a gun is completely different for me. And it was really nice with that silencer, guys. I'm telling you, it was really nice. And I shot it all day. And let me tell you something about that silencer performance. Was I wearing ears? Yeah, you bet your butt I was wearing ears. Little Surefire earplugs. Shout out to Surefire. Powerful Surefire. Not shoved into my ears like they should be, but they're placed in my ears. You know how that goes. Sometimes you shove your earplugs deep into your ears when you know you need to. You know what I mean, fam? Like, you pull your ear, you reach the hand of your opposite side over your head. You pull on the top of your earlobe to like open your ear canal, and then you shove the earplug in your ear with the other hand, with your free hand. Like, that's what you do when you know stuff's about to go down in Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I said Chinatown. It's nothing to do with Chinatown. There's no Chinatown near me. It's just a saying. So yeah, you know how that goes. Sometimes you got to do that. But I knew I didn't need to do that. It was so quiet. It was so quiet. In fact, I took the earplug out of my left ear. Shooting, okay. I took it out of my right ear. Shot some more. Didn't have ear protection in. Shooting. I was like, okay. It was quiet. Did I keep doing that? No, I didn't keep doing that. I put the plugs back in. I was going to be shooting all day. I'm not trying to be a hero. Hearing damage is cumulative. So yeah, have I computed the suppression rating of me laying in the back of my F-250 bed shooting with this weapon system? Absolutely not. I have not computed that. I have not instrumented a test in the back of a pickup truck laying prone. No. Okay. Do I need that to do that before I shoot it without ears a lot? Yes. I bet it's going to be somewhere between 30 and 50, the setup that I shot. If I had to guess. Maybe. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, it probably will be. It's somewhere between 30 and 50, probably on the lower side. It's not going to be close to 30. Probably, I'd say it's probably, if I had to guess, it's between 30 and 50. So I don't want to hurt myself. So, you feel me? Understand? So yeah, just to give you an idea of loudness. So, you know how great it feels if your hearing protection accidentally shifts out of your ears or off of your ears? Like if you're wearing muffs. Like, you ever been to an indoor range and like you're shooting a pistol and you have like earmuffs on and it accidentally shifts off your ears, like because you're wearing glasses or like something doesn't fit right, or like you can't clench your jaw and you have like a big jaw like I do, so like the earmuff comes off. Like, I've had a problem like that before. But you know how great it feels when you do that, but then you have a silencer on it so you don't have to worry? Like, that feels amazing because you're like, oh, my hearing protection just came out of my ears, or oh, my hearing protection is a little loose, or it's not fitting quite right, but you know what? I have a silencer. It feels amazing. That peace of mind. Like, silencers are so great. They are secondary hearing protection. Like, you're still like dosing yourself, guys. You're just dosing yourself less with a silencer, and you're dosing yourself less with hearing protection. Okay. I posted a video to my Instagram story of me shooting this setup this weekend. I took a little video on my I have a little tiny tripod thingy for my phone that I almost never use. But I was like, oh, I'm going to bring this. Maybe I'll get some Maybe get a nice video for folks. And I did. I only took one video. Took a little video there. I wasn't there for as the Instagram, YouTube people, or the what do they call those, influencers? Yeah, there's the influencers say I wasn't content creating. No, I was shooting, but I did film because I was like, it would be nice to watch the brass ejection and see this and show folks the rifle that I was shooting. And so I did that. I put that right next to it. And I posted a video on my Instagram story today. That would be today, Tuesday. So this might, actually, it was Monday. Is today Monday? No, today's Tuesday. Yeah, so Monday I posted that. So it's probably gone now, by the way. But I wanted you to get a feel for, I don't know, how it sounded. The video doesn't really do it justice. It's definitely louder than what the video shows, but it's not loud. It's interesting, and it's pretty weird how not loud it is. It was actually really weird how quiet the Helios QD is on 5.56. And it's an SBR. Right? Well, I mean, it's a machine gun, but it's a short barrel machine gun. The upper is a SBR upper, right? It's an 11.5 inch upper. So there's high pressure coming out of the port. That's 5.56, man. 5.56 by 45 is not a low pressure round. There's a lot of powder in that thing, and it is moving. And on a short barrel, it is moving. Okay, there's a lot of muzzle blast. And so it being quiet like that is amazing. Frankly, it's amazing. And the fact that it's not loud it's a function of the silencer, and it's a function of the gun. The host is a host weapon that is not gas sensitive, okay? It's tuned for the silencer. At the beginning of this, I said I have the gas block 6 clicks open, right? Well, that's because I need that amount of flow area through the gas port to cause an adequate pressure amplitude during the time period of dwell, during the time period over which the bullet passes the gas port and leaves the system. I need that much flow area through that gas port to accumulate enough impulse to unlock the bolt from the barrel extension and allow the bolt carry group to be free to move after inertial resistance is overcome after unlock. Okay, what is impulse? Area under the pressure time curve. Okay, so you're filling up your jug of water with impulse from the faucet. It's filling up, and you tip over the seesaw there, and you unlock. You dumped enough into your seesaw plank. You dumped enough into your carrier key, and it tipped. It unlocked the bolt. Okay, and then you're free to move, and the carrier's like, "Oh my God, we're free to move." But then the buffer mass and the weight of the carrier says, "Excuse me, sir. We have inertia, and we would like to hang out for a little while prior to getting moving, because inertia is quite resistant to change. In fact, we resist change with a force equal to our mass times the acceleration imparted to us. F equals ma. That's literally inertial resistance, and so that's So yeah. So 6 clicks open is enough gas impulse to make it that all work right. That's how that works. And so I can do 7 clicks on that gun. 7 clicks open. And I won't even need a silencer on the gun. If I do 7 clicks open, then, with no silencer on the gun, then the silencer has enough dwell time. Then the weapon has enough dwell time, and it's like, oh, I can function just fine. If I put a silencer on there, I'm increasing the dwell time. So the gun's like, oh, I don't need that much gas, bro. I'm like, okay, I'll dial it down. Jeez, relax, gun. And I dial it down to 6. I think I can dial it down to 5. I can't remember. But yeah, there's a range where it'll work on this gun, this 11.5 inch mid. But yeah, it'll depend on your gas block and stuff. But it's forgiving. So yeah, I did all that tuning for this gun with XM193 ammo. But then when I went shooting, it was with like the Sig, the same weight ammo, the same 55 grain, but made by Sig. So I don't know if Sig's load is like weaker or heavier, or weaker or stronger than the 193 ammo. I have no idea. But I actually didn't even check the function in the gun. I just I had never fired that ammo in that gun. No, have I? No, maybe I have for testing. I can't remember. Anyway, I didn't check the function at all. I just loaded the ammo and mags and I shot. Seems, and it met 0. I was like, oh, this is fine. So yeah, overall thoughts: the gun's accurate, or at least it's accurate enough for what I was using it for. I mean, look, I need a magnifier before I can enjoy shooting it further. I think I could probably do okay at 200 yards with no magnification with the EOTech. I was doing 175. I think I can do 200. I think I can. The target was pretty small at 175, and when I put up that EOTech, I was like, man, I am obscuring quite a bit of this steel right now with this dot. I was like, I'm going to keep doing this to practice. I was like, you know what? I could probably do 200. Let me just keep practicing. I wanted to get really confident. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to like be a hero. I'll leave that for the next day. But I think I can probably do 200 yards with no magnification on the EOTech. In that trigger, I bet you, I'm going to change my trigger out to a Hyperfire Hypertouch Auto. It's going to be dope. It's better than everyone that knows full auto has told me that the Hyperfire Hypertouch Auto is way better than the Geisley. So I don't know if any of you Geisley fans are listening, but I have heard that the Geisley triggers are not that good, and that especially if you have machine guns. So I've heard that, LaRue. I have the LaRue MBT on my AR-10. The MBT, the meticulously built trigger. Mark LaRue, national treasure. He's a character. That guy. He's in Texas. Leander, I think. He makes a good trigger. I tell you what. But you know what? He also makes a machine gun trigger. He won't sell to civilians. So that's interesting. I tell you what, Hyperfire had no problem selling it to me. And this is way before I had PEW Science. So by the way, I've had my machine gun for quite some time. Okay, I am not. This is not a PEW Science machine gun. This is a transferable, my friends. This is a car in cost. No free lunch. So yeah. So I think with a better trigger, with a lighter single stage, or dual stage trigger, instead of that DPMS mil-spec 4-way boomer trigger, it's all heavy. I bet you I could be a sweet son of a gun. I bet you I could hit 200. I could throw that football over those hills. No, I think I could do well. Oh, I think I could do better. I just need more practice. I have to say the trigger control with the DPMS with basically a mil-spec trigger, unmagnified EOTech at 175 yards, it did take concentration. I had to really focus on my trigger discipline and my trigger control. I had to really squeeze and just squeeze, break. Squeeze, break. Like, I could not just be like, oh, let me just phone this in right now, fam. I'd miss. Like, I could see it. Like, when I got lazy, I missed. I was like, damn, I got to concentrate. What is this? Some kind of precision instrument? So I mean, I'm not a marksman. I'm not a sniper. I'm really not. I'm not a super skilled rifleman. I'm really not. I don't claim to be, but I am a gun guy, and I like to think I can shoot okay. And so I'm just telling you that a trigger can make a difference if you get lazy. I mean, let's be real. Okay, I guess I need more practice too, but obviously I'll always need more practice. I think getting a magnifier would be cool. I think that would improve things. I did an Instagram story solicitation after I got home that night from shooting, and I need to check out EOTech versus Aimpoint magnifiers. I need to check out the Trijicon magnifiers. The designer of the EOTech, is it the G33? I can't remember. Not the 5X EOTech magnifier, but like the 3X. the designer of that magnifier also apparently designed the Trichicon. And he messaged me and he gave me his business card. Excuse me. He gave me his business card. And he basically told me those two magnifiers are like super similar. And he told me the differences. The eye relief is different, but like something else is different. And he was telling me how they work. He's like, see, super cool. I actually, sir, Mr. Trichicon man, if you're listening, I owe you an email. I have not emailed you yet, so stay tuned. Thank you for being so nice to me and explaining things to me on social media. I will email you, sir. So I need to check those out. I think a flip magnifier behind my holographic sight would make it perfect. I think, look, I have 9.5 ounces I saved from going from Inconel Helios to titanium Helios. So the magnifier is going to be a little heavier than that, probably. What's the magnifier going to weigh with a mount? A pound? Let's be conservative and say a pound. Okay, well, so maybe I only add half a pound because of my lighter silencer. Plus, the magnifier is going to be backward on the gun or more aft on the gun, so it's going to feel fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. Super awesome. Super excited about that. It's going to be perfect. Some people are like, why don't you use a low power variable optic? The fancy word for a 1:6 scope, because I don't need a 1:6 scope. Jay, why don't you add a huge scope to your gun when you don't need one, and then you won't be able to use it inside really fast in front of hallways and stuff when you want to use both eyes open shooting with like a holographic sight, which is like the best target acquisition in close quarters you could possibly get. Why don't you just use a low power variable optic? Because no. Why does everyone want to use a scope now? Stop using a scope on a machine gun. I want to be able to fire a mag through someone's car window, close range. I want to be able to use it in my house. I want to be able to go to the range and shoot without magnification at 175 yards out of the back of my pickup truck and hear the birds sing. I want to flip a little magnifier on there and reach out and touch someone if I want. I mean, it's not like I'm going to do anything bad. I mean, it's a 5.56. What? You think I'm going to go hunting and shoot an animal with 5.56 at 300 yards? Yeah, that would be humane. Not. A 5.56 out of 11.5-inch barrel at 300 yards. You think that's smart? No, that's a job for 308, sir. So yeah, I mean, if you really want to kill, I mean, we're not talking about like shooting a human. We're talking about killing like, stuff that you want to die right away, like a deer or like, I don't know, maybe a prairie dog. I don't know. I guess you could hit a prairie dog with that. It doesn't take much to kill a prairie dog, but anyway, yeah. So the gun's cool. I think a magnifier is the best option for my gun. I want the EOTech on it. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want a low power variable optic. I think having a magnifier is cool. I don't know why. Like, I think a lot of people were like, that's so blah, blah, blah year. Like, that's so 2012 or that. And I was like, what? I was like, what year? Why does it matter what year it is? Like, someone made fun of my grip pod. I was like, who doesn't love a grip pod? Drop down to prone, grip pod deploy. Hood of a car, grip pod deploy. Walking around, grip pod stowed. It's great, man. I had a dream about shooting with the grip pod. It was so great. The grip pod's amazing. Okay, Joe, thank you for inventing it. If you're listening, Mr. Joe Godini, founder of SWR, inventor of the Omega silencer baffle, inventor of the grip pod. Thank you for giving me a couple grip pods. It's very nice. That means a lot. You're the man. Okay, we're going to move into topic 2. I hope that was a good shooting story for you. We're going to move into topic 2 at a time of 54 minutes. Oh my God, I spent an hour on that. 54 minutes and 24 seconds. Maybe 40 minutes. I spent like 40 minutes on there because we had a 13-minute intro. Okay. Topic 2. This is the meat of this. Sound Signature Review 639, the Sig Sauer SRD762Ti-QD with subsonic 300 blackout, on the Q Mini Fix. Oh my God. That's ridiculous. What a mouthful. Sig Sauer SRD762Ti-QD. I mean, okay, I don't know what SRD stands for. Frankly, I don't know much about this, it was, I'll get into why. This is really weird. This is a weird one, but I mean, you may be asking yourself, why did I even review this silencer? Why did I even test this? Well, it's because it's an important silencer because a ton of you have it. That's the reason. The reason is I have gotten so many dang requests to review this, to test this silencer, you wouldn't believe. I got so much feedback after publishing this review. Oh my goodness. I could not believe the amount of people who were thankful for the data. I was so pleased with the response. It was awesome. And you know what? This silencer is being discontinued. And that is super weird, right? Why on earth would they discontinue this silencer? It performs so well with subsonic ammunition. Like, oh my goodness, it's such a good silencer. And it's not new at all. Why on earth would you get rid of this? I don't know. I reached out to Sig. I said, hey, Sig. No, I've been formally introduced to them over the past year. I've emailed them several times. I've reached out to Sig several times over the past year. I don't know. They never responded to me. I don't like, I've been introduced to them. I don't know. I think they're just really busy, I guess. I was not able to speak with them at all about any of the testing I did or have done so far. They will not speak with me. I don't know why. They have a link to the review. They have emails from me. So, hey, Sig, if you're listening, Sig Silencer people, Sig Silencer man, I am here. If you ever want to talk, your silencer is great. It is awesome, and I would love to speak with you about it. If you would like to speak with me, I am here. I don't know what else to say about that. I like to think that I wrote a very nice article about it with very good data. So let's get into it. So it's review 639, the SRD762Ti-QD. It's sitting right here on my desk next to the Helioses, next to the Helios, the Inconel Helios, and the. It's weird, isn't that weird, man? If you guys saw my desk, boy howdy, you'd be like, oh my God, like this guy has, what is on his desk? I don't know. It's getting out of control. I need to clean my desk. So many silencers and like shell casings. What do I got on here? I got like calipers. I got work stuff. I got wipes, used wipes, frankly. And someone would come in here like, dude, why do you have used wipes on your desk? Like, well, one time indoors, no, kidding, or am I? Muzzle brake. Yeah, so it's sitting right next to the Helioses. It's longer than the Helios QDs. It's 8.5 inches long. No, a little bit less than 8.5 inches long. 8.3 inches long. With the QD mount it uses, it weighs 19.8 ounces. Well, that's my silencer that I tested. It has debris inside from being shot. I'm sure maybe it would be lighter if it would have been clean, like, squeaky clean, but not as light as I don't know what they said. I mean, the silencer itself is 16.8 ounces. The mount is the brake is 3 ounces. 19.8 total. I don't know what their website said. You know what? I could do that right now. I can do that right now for you. We're going to investigative journalism. Boom, 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 boom. We're clicking. We're opening a new tab. Boop. Sig. I'm on the website. Scrolling down. Specifications. Weight. 15.8 ounces. 15.8. What did I say it was? 16.8. Okay. So the one I tested weighs an ounce more on the dot. So it has an ounce of carbon and lead in it. Okay. All right. So it's close. It's an ounce off. I don't know why. Other than that, it's got to be dirty, right? Got to be. Okay. So, but 19.8 with the mount, or hey, take it as 18.8 if you want to be brand new, whatever. That's not light, but it's a full size silencer. So it's pretty big. So it's like, well, it has a mount. It has a steel mount. That's 3 ounces. So let's say you went back to 15.8. well, then that would put it the same weight as like, well, it would be put it a little bit heavier than like a Hyperion, right? A direct thread. So then you add the mount. So it's on par. So the weight of the Sig silencer is to be expected. It's a full size silencer. It's titanium. So is it heavier than some other ones? Yes. Is it big and is the weight justified? Also yes. I think. It's just not. It's older, so it's not as streamlined and that's maybe it's a little bit. It has like a flange for the stuff that we'll talk about here. So I mean, there's other characteristics of the silencer that might make it heavier. So it's not crazy. It has 13 baffles though. 13 baffles. That's one of the reasons for the weight. It's not like this is just empty space. This is like there's a ton of baffles in this thing. So, and it's titanium. So you got to keep in mind it's titanium. It's that big. The fact that it has 13 baffles. That's pretty good. So the weight's considering that the weight's pretty good. What type of baffles are they? You might ask. Say, Jay, what type of baffles are they? Well, they are cone baffles. They are ported straight cones, actually. They're ported straight cones. This is a Q silencer. This is the elephant in the room. Let's just address it right now. Okay. This is before Ethan Lessard and Kevin Brittingham left Sig after the AEC Remington thing, right? Like you look up that history. Before they left Sig, they did these silencers. And that's what this is. Okay, so this is a tubeless straight ported and notched cones to trap a lot of gas. I have not tested this on supersonic cartridges yet. This is a subsonic test. I can tell you right now that the subsonic performance is really, really, really good with this type of baffle and design. It's really good. So what Q uses with their silencers now, with some tweaks and side differences, largely the Q silencers can be considered an evolution of this design, I think. Okay, so this gives you a little bit of a window into this. I think that would be a fair thing to say. The mount is very interesting, actually. And I've learned more and more about it as I've messed with it. It is a taper mount. The taper is extremely secure. It's so secure, in fact, that you will sometimes have trouble removing the silencer from the mount without a strap wrench. Super crazy. It also has a secondary retention latch on the silencer, but that doesn't have anything to do with the retention. The retention is strictly from the taper. So even if the latch wasn't there, I don't think the silencer would come off. I know I've said this before, but it's kind of like that latch is basically, you want secondary retention? Here's your secondary retention. I mean, it's clearly got to be from some kind of contract or something, some contract need. So I don't care. The really interesting thing, about the mount is the fact that you can time it without timing it to your gun, which is a really crazy thing to say. But so the mount attaches to the gun, like you screw it on to the end of the barrel. It can go to a 90-degree shoulder, or it can go to a tapered barrel because it has a little taper. See, this is where that Ethan and Kevin did that, right? When they were at Sig. It's kind of like a cherry bomb in that it can go on a 90-degree shoulder, or it can go on a tapered shoulder, or tapered barrel and tapered muzzle, because there's no shoulder if it's tapered. So it can do that. But the ported part of the brake is actually threaded into the mount, threaded into the front of the mount. And so you can torque the muzzle device on the barrel to the proper torque, your final installation torque, and then you can then time the ported portion of the brake with shims like you would have timed the entire mount. Isn't that cool? So you don't have to mess with misalignment, because the aligned part is the brake. So if you want to time a brake, you're going to induce misalignment. You're going to cant it because of the different thicknesses of shims for timing and stuff, and you won't be able to use a taper. So what Sig did was like, well, we still want to be able to time the brake, so let's just time the front part that has nothing to do with the alignment of the silencer. That's forward of the taper, and the taper is what's holding it. Isn't that clever? I thought that was so clever. So I don't know whose idea that was. I feel like that was Ethan's idea. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it. Maybe, you know what I should have done? What I should have done is I should have called Kevin to talk to him about the silencer, but I was like, well, let me talk to Sig. You know? Because, I mean, the Sig's name's on it, and that's why I was like, well, let me email Sig. I don't know. I think there's like a lot of bad blood there or something, because like, I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they didn't talk to me. I don't know. I don't know why it is, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm just talking about the data of the silencer, but maybe I would be interested to know more about the evolution of why and how and everything that design was done. And whenever I talk to a manufacturer about the silencers I review, they usually go into a lot of detail for me and talk to me about and I really love that. I just geek out on it. I think it's really cool. So I would love to talk to the designer of the silencer. Maybe I'll call Ethan. I don't know, but it's cool. So the mount's interesting. It's really great. Sometimes, I mean, you know, you're gonna have to use a strap wrench to get the silencer off this mount. You know, it'll stick on there because of that taper, man. That taper is a mother, dude. That is gonna be on there. It's cool. But yeah. I guess you could time the brake. I don't ever shoot unsuppressed, so that has really nothing to do with the sound performance. So I guess I'll just stop talking about that. But there's some information you can see online. I think they actually released different ports and different little attachments for the brake or for the mount you could make. And I don't know, man. They're discontinuing it, so I guess it's all gone. But man, what a cool system. Anyway, on to performance. Boy, howdy. Subsonic 300 blackout. 68.2 overall suppression rating. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Is it the quietest subsonic 300 blackout silencer there is? No. Surprisingly, it's not. It is not actually the quietest, which should blow your mind, frankly. But it's very good. It's very, very good. It's extremely good. So be aware of that. 64.4 at the ear on the mini fix with an H barrel. That's no joke, dude. 65.1 at the muzzle. That's even quieter than at the ear. You know, 1 meter away from the weapon muzzle. And that can really, it can happen with short barrels with quiet stuff. You saw that with whereas like where the muzzle rating is quieter than the ear rating. You saw that with the wipe test of the Vox. Remember that when it got so quiet that like it was louder to the shooter. It's weird, right? Yeah, that can happen. Well, you know, it happens with pistols too, right? It happens with semi-auto 9mm. You saw the review of the Rugged Obsidian 9, the CGS Mod 9, and the SWR Trident 9. You saw those, right? What, the suppression rating was lower at the ear, wasn't it? Significantly lower than it was 1 meter away, wasn't it? Why is that? Ejection port noise. Okay, why is it with the minifix? There's no ejection port noise. It's a bolt action. Why is it louder to the shooter? Well, it's louder because the barrel's closer to you. Short barrel, quiet silencer. The silencer's so quiet that the distance to the barrel is making the difference. Crazy. But yeah, so that's the sound field. Sound field does things. What else? Oh, right. First round pop, dude. This silencer, though. Subsonic flow regime, low first round pop. The best by far of the silencers you've seen. By far. Like not close. Not close. I can assure you that. I think I've talked about that. No, the other ones are loud. Even the Half Nelson had bad first round pop. Half Nelson small. I mean, is it on the Sig? Is the FRP noticeable? It is. It is noticeable. It's noticeable to the shooter and to bystanders. It's a little more noticeable to the shooter. You know, just like the rating is a little bit lower to the shooter. You know, so the shooter is going to be more aware of the first round pop. I mean, this is information you weren't really able to get before PEW Science. You know what I mean? Like PEW Science with the power of PewSoft and the silencer sound standard. I mean, PewSoft, it's just amazing. We can tell you with inner ear modeling what you can expect to encounter with the silencer. All right, this is the best thing next to shooting it yourself. Every time I'm able to give you results in this way, I smile, man. I smile because it's so dang cool. I wish I had done this 10 years ago. I would have saved so much money as a consumer. I would have had so much information. But yeah. Yeah, we know that. We know that about first round pop and the silencer. Now we understand it. We've characterized it. So when you look at figure 6 in the review at pewscience.com, when you look at figure 6, which is the figure that compares all of the silencers on subsonic 300 blackout that I've shown you so far, the Sig pulls away from the pack. Dude, it does. By a lot, actually. By a full suppression rating category over the Vox S with a wipe. The Vox S, right? What is that at the ear? 54.4. The Sig is 64.4. 10 points higher at the ear. Dude, the Sig with, on average, with 300 blackout subsonic, a complete suppression rating category higher at the ear to the shooter than a wiped silencer. So remember, like when the review, and I'm just going to say this really quick, and this is not a dig at Energetic Armament at all. Don't get it twisted. Carl and those guys are super cool. I know them. I'm pretty close with them. They're really nice. But I will say, when the Vox S was released and people were shooting with a wipe and like people were calling it Hollywood quiet, why weren't they saying that about the SRD 762Ti-QD? Because it's way quieter than the Vox is wiped. So what was that? Like, what kind of marketing is that, right? You see what I mean? Like, that's why you need like real data. You can't be like, I don't know who thought it was a good idea to tell people that the Vox was the quietest silencer on earth. Because I've tested the Vox on every platform. I've even tested on 556 and I have that data. You just haven't seen it. I've tested the Voxes. I have a Vox. Energetic Armament gave me a Vox when Carl did my podcast years ago. I think it was like one of the first 10 episodes. Carl did my podcast and with me, and he gave me a Vox as a thank you, which I thought was more than generous, frankly. On a Form 4 that transferred to me. So I've had that Vox for quite a long time. I have tested that silencer on so many guns. I've shot that silencer on so many guns. That is not the quietest silencer there is. And the fact that like people portray it to be boggles my mind. Because you see the data on pewscience.com, you see compared to everything else, like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I don't get that, man. So the Sig silencer's a suppression rating category higher than it wiped. It's 2 suppression rating categories higher than the Vox S unwiped. So if you don't use a wipe, the Sig silencer with 300 blackout subsonic is 2 suppression rating categories quieter. That's not even the same sport, dude. That difference in loudness, like anytime you see a difference in loudness of a suppression rating category, is like, that's a different ballgame. If you see 2 different categories, like if you see a difference that big, then you're not even playing the same sport. You're on like 2 different fields. Someone's playing baseball. Someone's playing baseball, and then someone's in a gym playing volleyball, like indoors. That's an analogy, because that's how freaking different those 2 silencers are in sound performance on subsonic 300 blackout on this weapon system. And the amount of characterization I have provided to you, and the fidelity of the data and the analysis to prove that to you, is unequaled. And you will never be able to get a better conclusion than what I have shown you in this review, figure 6. You will never be able to see a conclusion like that unless you shoot it yourself. You either got to shoot them yourself side by side, or you look at that plot. Those are your options to understand how different they sound. No one else is, or you can listen to an honest person who owns them both and says, yeah, the Sig silencers, 2 suppression rating categories quieter for sure, dude. So yeah, isn't the suppression rating helpful now? If we were talking about decibel, you'd be like, wait, what does that mean? No, you have suppression rating category now. It's powerful. It's powerful. And I hope this is, and I'm driving this point into the ground because I want you to understand how powerful figure 6 is in this review. Those are all subsonic 300 blackout ratings. And I want you to see what you're dealing with. You haven't even seen, you've seen, what is that one? That's okay, that's Resonator K, Richmond Tactical, okay, it's a YHM Resonator K, Richmond Tactical RT30 Ti, Q Half Nelson, Sig SRD762Ti-QD, Energetic Armament Vox S with a wipe, Energetic Armament Vox S. That's the Vox grouped together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 silencers. It's 5 silencers with 1 silencer in 2 configurations, wiped and unwiped. That's all you've seen on subsonic 300 blackout from PEW Science so far. And look at the spread. You got the Resonator K sitting there almost hitting 40 at the ear, almost. So the Resonator K, it's small. It was on a big mount. It almost hit 40 at the ear. If you were talking about supersonic 308, you might think to yourself, oh, that's not that bad. Well, no, subsonic 300 blackout needs to be quiet, and that's not quiet. Okay, that's almost 40 at the ear. You go to the Vox, yeah, you get about a half a category quieter. It isn't until you go up to these bigger silencers where you're getting decently quiet suppression to the shooter and bystanders until you hit something like this, the Sig silencer, and you're just like, oh, that's why 300 blackout was developed. Oh, okay. That's why subsonic 300 blackout was developed, to sound like that. That's what we want to sound like. We want to have low signature lethality, guys. Okay? That's what 300 blackout is for. That's what subsonic 300 blackout is for. You want subsonic lethality. You want low signature lethality. Okay? Why would you even use a silencer if it's not quiet on a purpose-built subsonic round? We're not talking about supersonic, guys. We're talking about subsonic use. Why do we use subsonic cartridges? To be quiet. I mean, I'm throwing my personal philosophy in here right now. Okay, you have the unbiased review, you have the objective data on PEWScience.com. But this podcast, you know, I'm going to interject my own opinions here. And my opinion is, go big or go home when it comes to quiet time. And what's quiet time? Subsonic. What's subsonic? 9mm subsonic, 300 blackout subsonic, 22 subsonic. Quiet time. When it's time for quiet, get the spooky quiet. I mean, that's my philosophy. Don't mess around. I wouldn't mess around. So yeah. So I thought that's why I wanted to bust out. You know, I just tested the Sig silencer. What was the date on that test? The 20th of March. That was a couple weeks ago. I tested that. I have so much stuff I tested last year I haven't shown you, but I threw the Sig silencer in here now. Why did I do that? Well, because look how it fits in there. Perfect. There couldn't be a better time. There couldn't be a better time to show you this. You hadn't seen anything like this before. So it's there. Okay. So all in all, well, no, you know what? There is more to say about this. You know, frankly, this is also it is 2 suppression rating categories quieter than the half Nelson at the muzzle. This is important for you to know. Why is that important? It's important because the half Nelson has 4 less baffles than the Sig, and they're very similar. It's not the same dimensions, but it's similar. So there you go. What that's going to do is it's going to let you know how performance can scale with these straight cone baffles. And what's more, you use different baffle spacing. You're going to do some stuff. It's wild. It gets wild in the subsonic realm. Now, you can get spooky quiet. And so you've seen this Sig now. You've seen this 60, what was it? What was the overall? Scroll, up, 68.2, high, super high. You've seen this. You see, 68.2 is spooky quiet. Is 68.2 spooky quiet? It's getting close. It's pretty close. It's getting close to spooky for subsonic 300 blackout. Can things get quieter? Yes. Has PEW Science tested things that are quieter? Yes. On 300 blackout subsonic? Yes. Will you see these things? Of course you will. You'll see it all. I'll show all of you. Everything. That's how this works. So all in all, it's a good silencer. Comes in steel too. You can get it in steel version. Everyone that has one of these silencers loves it, that I know. I need to test this on Supersonic 308 to give you the data. It will be extremely good for you to know that. Sig, if you are listening, hit me up. I am here. I would love to speak with you about the silencer. If not, that's fine. By the way, I love your guns. The Sig P226 was my first centerfire handgun ever. I have a Sig P210 that is threaded and beautiful. I'm here if you want to talk anytime. I'm here for you. Open door policy. Email me, smoke signals, whatever. Okay, it's a good silencer. Hope you guys like that. Topic 3, time of 1 hour. Moving right along. Topic 3 at a time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 58 seconds. Oh, this is exciting for me. Oh, gosh, this is exciting, guys. Topic 3, analysis update, back pressure metric major progress update coming soon, along with a new review to showcase it for you. Oh, my God, that's so much to do. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big deal. This is big time. It's almost ready. It's almost ready, and the back pressure metric is now as right as it is going to be without high-speed camera and internal pressure transducer instrumentation in weapon systems. Without the validation of high-speed camera and internal pressure transducer validation, we have approached. Well, that's we have approached the field validation threshold for the back pressure metric, because we've already done it at adjustable gas block spot checks. Okay, on 7.62 by 51 NATO and 5.56 by 45 NATO. So that is the AR-15 and AR-308 platform with adjustable gas blocks. Those are the spot checks for this back pressure metric. Okay, what does that mean? That means that we've determined weapon system function with gas port size and how that relates to and how it correlates to the back pressure metric. So we're on the right track. You've already seen this. Actually, it's really interesting that I should bring up. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up, frankly. Let's see. What was it? Sound Signature Review 636, published on February 19th of this year, of the Griffin Armament Explorer EX3. In that review, if you scroll down to section 636.3, section 6.36.3 in the Silencer Sound Standard in review 636, detailed supersonic waveform comparisons and back pressure research. There's a section in that Griffin review there that kind of details some key discoveries that fueled some of the back pressure metric innovation that PEW Science has performed over the past year. Really giving us the data set to round out validation cases to understand truly how different baffle designs impact the back pressure metric that we have developed. And so you'll see that. You'll see how we evolved from going from a strictly rise time to peak impulse approach to a rate of that rise, which was the key differentiator. We went from simple to more complicated, but not to super complicated, we just added enough complication to do what we needed to do, and frankly, it's working very well. If you look further in that review, you will see, and if you haven't looked at this, you really need to. If you look further in that review, you'll see the rugged rifle silencer back pressure case study in section 6.36.3.1 of the Silencer Sound Standard in review 636. You'll see the rugged rifle silencer back pressure research case study, in which we have the rugged surge in the long configuration, the short configuration, the rugged radiant in the long configuration, the short configuration, and the rugged razor. All of these silencers have different baffle spacings, different numbers of baffles. However, other than the radiant, the orifice size is very similar. And I tell you what, this back pressure case study was performed on semi-automatic host weapons, and correlated very, very well with both the rise time to peak impulse metric and the rate of that rise metric, which was Rev 2 of the metric. So and I show you the correlation spread in that review, so you can see. So why am I bringing this up to you? What's the meat and potatoes here, sir or ma'am? The meat and potatoes is that, like I said, we're to the point now where I've done enough of this, got enough data set, got enough of my, these semi-quantitative reports with adjustable gas blocks. We've got enough anecdotal reports from users. We've got enough understanding of back pressure of silencers, which all back pressure is of silencers is flow restriction. We have enough of this that we're ready to move forward with the next step. And I will say, when it comes to the next step of validation, that's going to be high-speed camera and pressure transducers. That type of validation is actually in the works. There are a couple of industry entities, a couple of PEW Science member companies, current and future R&D clients that are going to help PEW Science with this effort. That's already in the works. Okay, that's been spoken. A couple of different people. They're going to help. So stay tuned for that. But for now, PEW Science members and the public at large, I will be releasing an updated back pressure metric for you. It is exciting, and there will be equations. There will be Greek letters in the equations. There will be acknowledgments. It will be special, the first of its kind, and it will be a PEW Science innovation. I think you're going to like it. Some people will not like it. Some people will not understand it. Some people will be angry. But for each of those groups of people, there will be 3 more groups that like it and understand it and are happy. Okay, so it will not be perfect, but it will be real data, physics-based, objective, repeatable, measurable, and reproducible by anyone that chooses to put forth the effort to do so, just like all of the data presented on pewscience.com. Okay, and so with that, you are going to also get another sound signature review. And the review will use this new back pressure metric heavily, probably. I haven't written that review yet, so we're going to see what I do. But this is in my mind. And I anticipate releasing both of those things to you next week. Okay, I thought about releasing part of this week, but I went shooting finally, like I just told you about. So I wasn't going to skip that again, frankly, for my sanity. And yesterday, guys, last night, I was at the gym, and a young lady backed into my truck. So that sucked. It was an accident. She was not paying attention. So yeah, I've been dealing with that. So this week has been really difficult, for delays and things like that. So, there's nothing coming to you this week. I'm sorry. I won't be able to do that for you, but it's okay. Cause, the stuff I'm going to publish is going to blow your mind. So yeah. Stay tuned. You're going to get great data and analysis very soon, I promise. I went hard in the paint Saturday night after my range trip. And then Sunday, I actually worked on it too. So I have been working on it. It's nowhere near close to ready, but effort has been expended, frankly. So just want to give you that quick update. Topic 4 at a time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 22 seconds. Welcome to all of the new PEW Science members. Thank you for your support. Some of you joined since the last time I spoke with you. Thank you. You are the backbone of this effort. PEW Science members make this happen. It is very important. You are very important. The literal army of data-driven individuals. You're enthusiastic. You're excited, and you're enthusiastic consumers. You're excited and enthusiastic dealers, distributors, manufacturers, individuals representing a fantastic cross-section of the firearms community. Thank you. Thank you to PEW Science members. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to PEW Science. Thank you to Silencer Shop. Thank you to my friends, my family, everyone who supports this. Thank you to the industry for making silencers. Thank you to our clients. Talk to you folks again soon.